Hello and welcome to the Community Beehive. If you're new here, hi, my name is Bee. I currently live full-time in a travel van, and happy January. If you're new here, then you know that I'm not too keen on the new year being in the dead of winter. And if you don't already know, I have a podcast called The Conscious Buzz Podcast, and I have an episode that specifically goes into the new year and why it is a lie. But even though I'm not the most keen on New Year's, I still have to acknowledge the fact that the date changed to 2026. And last year in 2025, towards the end of the year, I started to kind of get life back into me. Last year on January 2nd, I got a really unfortunate diagnosis about my mom, and it essentially just put me on autopilot for the rest of the year in a way that I didn't even notice until I got towards the end of the year when things were doing good. She was in recovery mode, and as someone who has a van, I was just itching to go back out into the world a little bit. And some things that I started to do that just made me feel really good was, I called it like dopamine dressing, getting dopamine decor, and also doing things that just added little bits of magic and whimsy into your everyday life. And I thought it was really awesome that it seems like the collective frequency with other humans is a lot of other people are tapping into the whimsy. I started to create a list of things that I do that I feel are whimsical, and then created a new list of things that I want to do to incorporate more whimsy into my life. And I'm actually going to be doing a whole podcast on whimsical things that I do, and then whimsical things that I want to start incorporating. So my 2026 word of the year is whimsy. Adding whimsy, creating whimsy, showing people the whimsy that exists in life. And right now, what I wanted to do with you was I wanted to share some deep inner parts of myself. Today, we're going to be junk journaling together, but instead of junk journaling, I also call it glimmer journaling. And I have two different types of journals that I'm so excited to show you and dive into. Also, look at my pink on pink outfit. These are the poppy sweatpants from when they did it like over a year ago, or maybe it was last winter. I believe I got these last winter at Target. So this one is really important and special to me because of the fact that I started this in high school. I'm not going to show you everything, obviously. I wish I would have dated it, but at the time, I just didn't really feel the need. I was just constantly creating and never thought that I would look back on it, but it was in my teenage years that I started both journaling, and this was my art journal is what I called it. This is the very first page of my journal. Now, let's not forget that this was literally done maybe 2014, 2015. My whole life, I've always been an artist. I've always created and crafted things. I've done all of the different friendship bracelets. I sold them around school. I gave them away. I did crystal and wire wrapping, painting, clay art, resin art, everything that you could think of. And I'm also very blessed to have come from a family full of artists that supported and nurtured that version of me. I would go as far as saying is they encourage it. Essentially, this journal started off as a journal where I can express myself. I can use whatever type of paint medium that I want. And it was just for me. Like, I needed a place where I could express art. Oh, hi, honey. Hello, fluffy girl. I grew up in a family where we really valued our nervous system, peace, relaxation, regulation. There was so much regulating, learning how to self-regulate in my family. And this was a place where I could express my art, so I never had to show it to anybody. And that just felt so freeing. Going through teenage angst. You could probably still find it at Barnes and Noble, actually. I get a lot of really cool journals there. I've just noticed, especially as I'm traveling and I stop into Barnes and Noble, I tend to see the same ones. I do like unique ones, but I believe that you can find this in the journal section. Ooh, I really like this one. I live in a world of fantasy, so keep your reality away from me. I see what I want what I see, and that's all okay by me. I live in a world of fantasy, so keep your reality away from me is something that I still believe in because I create my own reality. Therefore, I'm not going to let other people interject their version of reality into mine. Also, I'd love to get your input on the vibes and the ambiance because I have a light so that you can see me. It does create like a little bit of a shadow, which I'm not sure how I'm feeling about, but my vibe is like, obviously if this light wasn't on, this is what it looks like, and I just love the cozy ambiance, but I also want to show you like this. So this was a really healing era for me because I would write quotes that I saw or things that I resonated with. I would also find fun photos and draw them and then glue them in here. I also experimented with adding paint, and I would do paint and pen, watercolor. And in the early stages, it was mostly quotes. It was kind of like my version of a diary, but I would just turn it into art. Ooh, this one, she must have been sad. You taught me why hurricanes were named after people. Ooh, I'm so sorry. Ooh, this one's a vibe. I feel like this captured a lot of like the hurt and anger that I was feeling. I would pour it into here so then it didn't spill out into other areas of my life. I got into a point where I was painting really fun pictures and then adding like a quote to them. These ones were really fun. I have a bunch of these where I would like create plants. Again, this was on a different piece of paper and then I would just put it in here. So sometimes they were things that I was doing at work. And I'm showing you the past, but I can't wait to show you the present. This is really, really cool. Before I knew I was going into the medical field. It says, I'm hard-headed, not hard-hearted. I'm not saying that you have to form yours like this. I just want to show you the fun growth. And I'm just trying to show you how I've been adding whimsy to my life for a while. Establishing credibility that I don't need, but I just think it's fun to share. That's so funny. The mountains are calling and I must go. Well, baby, we're here. We've made it. Beautiful mountains. I'm literally living a dream life and sharing it with the world. I just want to show you this because I'm not an artist in the sense of painting, drawing, but I was really proud of that Buddha when I did it. That was 2019, and I had seemed to only do that before 2024. Now, 2024 is also when I started this. This one is more of a junk journal, whereas this was a little bit more artsy and intentional. This has a lot of junk in it, but I turned the junk into art. Because I was so inspired by this, I ended up getting this in December of 23, and then it went into the new year of 24. So we're gonna just put this one on pause for a second because these next pages were inspired because of this. I ended up getting this adorable journal. It has like a moose on it and it's leather. All of the pages are blank. I got this in Steamboat Springs, Colorado at one of the cute little shops. And I started this January 1st of 2024, and then this is going to be the January 15th. So let's go through a little bit of this to see how this has inspired my big journal of my artsy eras. So this journal is a new era of consciously recording the good things that happen in my life and making it into art. It starts with unlocking the magical moments that are always accessible to me. January 1st, 2024, escape room, Steamboat, Colorado. My little journal of glimmers. I got this key from a escape room that we did in Steamboat Springs and got this journal from Steamboat Springs as well. And this is where I wanted to essentially put all of the little stickers that I get in my life and just add a little bit more meaning to them, make them more fun. This is my glimmer journal, a place where I will leave my doodles, thoughts, pictures. I've always wanted to scrapbook, but I just haven't tried. Here I will leave little pieces of my glimmers. I hope to fill this with so much love and art. Because it's my journal and I could do whatever I want, I started writing things down. This is the art of noticing. I'm a huge snail fanatic. I've always loved snails and roly-polies, but finding snail merch and things is like hard to come by. When I went to the rainforest in Washington, the Hoh Rainforest, snails and slugs were abundant. Banana slugs in particular are super common in the forest, and they literally had like magnets, just like little merchandise, and it was so cute. I wanted to buy all the snail stuff. So I started getting into raving locally. I collected all of the little pieces of confetti. Full circle moment. My friend Soul Sunshine Goods, her and I have been friends for years. She was one that I always knew. I could invite her over and we would have art dates, and we would just like, the whole purpose was to hang out just to make art together, which was chef's kiss. I miss that. And I ran into her vending at one of the shows in Daytona, which was awesome. So the majority of this chunk that I just looked through is all just me getting incredible collaborations and manifesting my dream life. And I felt like every single time I made a gratitude glimmer page, more things that I desired came along, which was so, so fun. And then I started making some fun ones. These are like all things that we got at the rave. This was our bracelet from it. This is one of my favorite ones. This is from Halloween, and this is $1 that I found in the pit. Some stickers. This is like a little 3D printed thing. Like, it's literally 3D, like you can see. It sticks up. This was my early access wristband. This one is really cool. It looks like Magnolia and it says Halloween 2025. I'm absolutely obsessed with this glimmer page. Another example that you can steal, literally just, I went to Dollar Tree and I went to Aldi's. Another idea, plane ticket stuff, like where you travel to. And then I had to do a Halloween page, which I definitely wish I would have done one for like 7 stars, all the things. But that is what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be adding just glimmers of things that I've been collecting. We have a lot of junk to sort through. Okay, this one is recent. It was really, really fun. This is a cutting off of my bracelet from when I did my egg donation. Not my first rodeo because it was my 5th egg donation. And then I had some oranges in my van, and so I just put that, and then it says California, cuties. And then this, it's a fortune, and I have saved this fortune. It was in my laptop case, that it was in my door jamb for a while, and it would never get lost. So I decided to put it in here, and it says, you will obtain your goal if you maintain your course. And that's all I have for now. And that is my glimmer journal that I've only had this one for 2, going on its 3rd year. I still have a lot to fill up, but I also did not have it for almost a year of traveling, which is a very deep sadness, but I made sure this time I did not forget. Now this one is still going to be about glimmers. It's mostly going to be my glimmer journal, whereas this can have good and bad feelings, but I want this to be all positive. Now in 2024, which is when we started this one, I also decided to start using this as a way of creating messy art for myself, good or bad. I also wanted to start incorporating more painting. So I started painting in this one and then also writing. Had a really fun time drawing and then adding quotes on top of it. A pond, and I would draw a picture and then write around it. Let me show you some of my favorites. Let's see. So this day would have been a fun glimmer journal, but there was a lot of detail that I wanted to add. So I allowed myself to turn this into an art journal. Like, I can journal the things that I would journal about, but also make them pretty, because why not? These are so fun. So before we start getting back into what we're going to create today, I'm going to show you my most recent and my most favorite page in my art junk journal. Okay, so this is a Leave No Trace, and I got it out of a pamphlet from the national parks. If you're ever going to national parks or places like theme parks or wherever you're going, you want to collect junk, there are almost always flyers that have really cute things in them. I caught the Get Outdoors, Nature and Wildlife, Leave No Trace. Alan had bought me a hiking journal, and so the little thing that came on the journal, I cut it out and saved it. And then I have a bunch of these stickers. This is from a bag from a national park, a bunch of different national parks here, and it was on a bag of like that I got from the souvenirs. I thought it was so cute. This one's from a different national park. This one is from Carlsbad Caverns. So I think this could have been from Carlsbad Caverns as well. And then these two right here are from Shenandoah National Park. And it was like the Leave No Trace. And then I took this out of a different magazine. It's like a picture from Utah, I believe Arches National Park. I love it. I think the details on here are adorable. So much fun. I really enjoy these. Okay, thank you so much for holding space and going through these with me. I hope it inspired you to want to junk or glimmer journal, and feel free to steal any of my ideas and incorporate them as your own. Now I am going to spend the rest of the evening going through some junk. If you would like to junk journal with me, go ahead, grab some supplies. Main supplies that I would always recommend are scissors and glue. Okay, and now that we've gone through my glimmer journals and my artsy junk journal, I'm going to show you my setup living in a van, and just know that you genuinely do not need to go out and buy any supplies. The only things that I would say are somewhat of a necessity for junk journaling: a pair of scissors, a glue stick. I actually just got this glue stick. I'll show you what I was using before I had a glue stick. This is a big thing of markers, and I really like these because they have a fine tip and then they also have a broad tip. So you can use this size or you can use this size. This is my beautiful bag of wonders. I got this bag at Florida Groves, and I did do a glimmer journal page about it. My first influencer festival invite, and then I got like a bunch of, this was the ticket that you got from parking, and then I got a bunch of cute little pot stickers. So fun. So I'm going to show you through this bag, and then we're going to go through some of the junk that I have collected recently, and I'm going to make some new junk journal pages. First things first, I think I got this at Walmart, I believe. And this is just a sticker book. It's adorable. It has so many different aesthetics and vibes, and it has definitely gotten a lot of use out of her, but it was really cheap. I think it was only like a couple dollars. So I got myself a cute little sticker book. Oh my God, it's just junk. It's literally just junk. Okay, these little guys right here, these are what I used to stick a lot of things in my journal. It's sticky on both the front and the back, but another couple of different things that you can use to stick them down other than glue sticks or these double-sided little sticky dots that you can get in any little home office area. I got this as well, and every time you pull this, there's like a little sticky dot, and so then I could use these as well to stick things. Or you can use washi tape. Now, sometimes washi tape is not good and it doesn't stick, so that is why I ended up getting an extra strength glue stick. This is a new addition to my journaling. I literally only used it just to glue down some of my national park stuff that were coming undone. These are my two things that I absolutely love. First, it is my black palette for ink, and then it is this, and I believe I got this, if not at Dollar Tree, then off of like Temu or something. And these are all the things that it has on it. So it just like has the date, and then you can circle what day of the week it is. I think it is so cute to put it on the top. When I started my glimmer journal and looked back on my old journal, I was like, there's no dates here. So that is why I started dating and putting the day of the week of what's going on my glimmer journal. And then in my personal journal, I put the date, so like January 11th, 2026, the location, and the weather, especially because I'm traveling. I love to like see what different types of weather it was. And then I put the location of like where I'm at or where I parked up. It's just really fun, and future me is always nosy about what past me was doing specifically. I got just a bunch of fun eucalyptus stickers from Dollar Tree. I get a lot of fun things from Dollar Tree. And pretty much these are all just like stickers. These stars, I stole them from the hospital when I worked there because I just thought that they would work really fun. St. Patty's Day paper, also stole from the hospital. I got these stamps from Dollar Tree, I believe. They're just like little flowers. And then different stamp colors. These are what I had and I used before I got the big 80 piece of markers. So yeah, essentially it's just a bunch of junk and different types of stickers that I can have fun and be creative with. And this is my bag of junk. So when I cut things up, this is where the little trash goes. And then I just put it in like a brown piece of paper to like wrap it all up. And then we have some colored pencils. And down here, just a bunch of miscellaneous junk pages that I can add, and stickers to my other junk journaling pages. And that's pretty much it. Oh my God, my cats are everywhere. Can I show you what this looks like right now? So I have all my stuff I have a cat. I have another cat. This is where I put my light. Hi, sweet girl. Hi, mamas. I love her so much. And then I just have some more junk journaling stuff. Now, when it comes to junk journaling, there are literally no rules. So this is however you want to do it. Start off, I always take all of my junk and I start to sift through it. And this is what we're sifting through today. So we're gonna see what I have today, and then I will decide. I don't even know which one I'm gonna do it in. I think I might do it in this bad boy. But I do have some collaborations, so I want to put it in my glimmer journal to manifest and magnetize more of those to me. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you, truly. Thank you for choosing to spend a little pocket of your day here, wandering with me, learning about Whimsy, and letting it quietly ripple into your everyday life. This has always been one of my favorite ways to release stress. Every time I sit down to create without pressure or a plan, something inside me softens. It feels like I'm exhaling through my hands. And I love to look back on these pages later. They remind me of who I was, what caught my eye, and what felt magical in that season of life. Junk journaling teaches me the art of noticing little colors, textures, moments I might have rushed past otherwise. It's playful, imperfect, and one of the simplest ways I invite more joy in. Okay, I'm absolutely very happy with how this turned out. And it was literally super simple. It was just 4 little pieces of junk. And then I used my sticker book from Walmart and then just added some fun food stickers to it. These are so fun. And I just feel like the more I layer and add stickers, the more fun it gets. Okay, so my food one is complete. I think that this is going to be really fun because it has just all different eras of me expressing myself. I'm really loving the junk journal one though. I love how things stick out, but it's not gonna be until like the middle of the book, which is fine. Slowing down with art does something deeper than we realize. When I'm noticing colors, textures, tiny details, my body starts to regulate, my breath softens, and my nervous system feels safer. It's a gentle reminder that I don't need to rush to be okay. Presence, creativity, and calm can exist in the same moment. I genuinely feel as if this adds so much magic to my life. I took the time to create these and offer gratitude. And I feel like every time I do, it's like a little thank you letter to the universe. And after this, the universe always gives me more things to be grateful for. So I love a blank page because a blank page means endless opportunities. And then look at all that. There's still so much left to this. I'm hoping I can fill up a lot more this year and then maybe get another one. Just love these, and I love looking through them too. Okay, so I have finished my last pages of junk journaling for the evening, and there are crafts all over this bed. I need to clean up my trash, organize everything, and start collecting some more junk for my next junk journaling session. Being able to put some of these pages together, for one, you're reliving the memory, and that feels so good. If you didn't know, a fun fact about your brain is your brain doesn't understand sarcasm, and it also doesn't always know when an experience is being talked about or actually being experienced. So when someone relives something that was a little bit traumatic to them and they start telling the story, their body is physically reliving that experience. Also, reliving really good things that happened to you, your brain, even though it's something that happened in the past, when you start to relive that experience or write about that experience, it's almost as if it's happening all over again. Because what happens with the negative also happens with the positive, because your brain doesn't understand sarcasm. And it's also why it's really important to watch the words that you say, because when you say something like, I'm so insert negative aspect, your brain is going to start searching for things, because everything that you say after I am, your brain body and nervous system are going to find things and seek things out that make that true for you. So be careful with the words that you say, and start reliving the really good experiences. And you can't tell me that this book is not just full of whimsy. Thank you so much for junk journaling and glimmer journaling with me today. Well, this is farewell, and I'll see you in the next one. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with anybody who you think could use a little bit more whimsy in their life.